guys, Orly here, founder of LifeVestInside, and I want to thank each and every one of you for deciding to kick off your week with me on the weekly Kindness Kickoff with Orly, where I do a reading from my book, Kindness Boomerang, How to Save the World and Yourself through 365 Daily Acts. And then I give you, myself, and all of us out there an exciting kindness challenge based on the reading. For those of you that want to get a copy of your book, you can pick it up on either Amazon, Barnes & Noble, IndieBound, Books A Million, iTunes, Target, or you can actually win your copy right here. So how do you win your copy? Well, in the beginning of every month, at the end of the video, I announce a few comments of people that have submitted comments over the course of the month, and then I choose one person that wins 2 copies of the book, one for themselves and one for them to give forward to somebody else. Last week's winner, this month's winner, is Daniela in 6th grade. Please reach out to me. Make sure you send me your address so I can get you your copies of the book. The book itself is broken into 365 pages, 1 page for every single day of the year. For every day, you have an act of kindness, an inspirational quote, and then a short reflection on the power of paying it forward. So please do share your comments. I love reading them. They make my day. They make me smile. So please continue to share, continue to watch, continue to comment and reach out to me with any comment that you want to ask, a question that you want to ask. I'd love to see them. So jumping right into today's act. And it's coming to us from May 13th. And the act goes as follows. Make a list of all the things you love about yourself. The things that make you uniquely you. Look at yourself in the mirror and read the list aloud. Always remember that you are beautiful. And the quote comes to us from Judith Martin. When virtues are pointed out first, flaws seem less insurmountable. And the reflection. A famous line in scripture states, love your neighbor like you love yourself. I say, loving your neighbor is easy. It's loving yourself that's difficult. Once you begin to love yourself, loving others is simple. Remember this, there's something uniquely special about each and every person, something which only he or she can bring into this world. Without you, the puzzle is incomplete. So start opening your eyes and begin to see the beauty that lies right before you. It's a bit of a difficult act to point out, as it says here, to list things that you love about yourself and then to say them aloud. Listing them to begin with is difficult. Saying them aloud is so much harder. Why is that? Well, I think, in my opinion, it's because we're so critical of ourselves. We tend to always see our flaws. And we tend to also compare ourselves to others because we're looking outward on others. And as the quote goes, the grass is always greener on the other side. So when you're looking out at somebody else and you see all their successes and all that they've been able to accomplish, you're not seeing and you're not pointing out all of their flaws or the hardships that it took them to get to where they are. We tend to only see, wow, the grass is greener on the other side, all the greatness that they've done. And when we turn the camera to look at ourselves, we see every little flaw, every mistake that we've made, everything that we want to become better at and that we haven't yet done or we haven't yet achieved. We see the gap. That's what we focus on. And it's so hard for us to point out those positive things. And when we do, if we actually do take the time to write them down, to say them aloud is so hard. So I said to myself, before I threw on the camera today and I said, okay, this is going to be the act. I said, if I'm going to give this as a task for everyone to go out and do this week, and that's what our challenge is going to be, for each and every one of us to sit down for a few minutes. Some of us, it might take a little bit longer. Some of us, it might be really quick. To sit down and list the things that we love about ourselves and that make us uniquely us. What makes you you? And then to say them out loud. So I said, okay, if I'm going to give this to everybody to do, I have to do it myself. And so as I sat down to write, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit difficult. It was difficult for me. And knowing that I was going to say them aloud on the video made it even harder because we tend to become embarrassed about calling out the things that we think are good within ourselves as well. We become shy and embarrassed. Why? And again, this might not be for everybody because sometimes we see, we've been trained to believe that when we say the good, it's as though we're bragging. But I've actually said this in a previous video. Sharing your brag is actually a positive thing. And I shared once a story of a mastermind class that I was a part of. It's basically a group of 20 people that met once a week for about 3 hours, and each of us had our goals that we wanted to accomplish and achieve over the following months, over the next 3 months. And in the very beginning of the session, the woman, amazing woman, her name is Stephanie Fialio. Those of you that may know her, she's a coach. She asked us to get up and to share a brag, something that we were super proud of over the course of the week. And in the very beginning, it was really difficult. Nobody wanted to get up. And so I started getting up there. And then every week when she would ask, I'd be the first one to want to jump up, because it's important for us to actually pay attention and to call attention to the things that we do love about ourselves, because it makes us realize, wow, maybe we haven't succeeded in this, and that yet. Maybe we're not as great in this or this yet, but look at what we do have. And that positive energy helps us want to go out there and work harder and become better. So I'm going to, before we end today's video, I'm going to call out some of the things that I put on my list. And again, it's difficult, but it's important to give voice to those things. The same way that it's important to give voice to telling other people what is great with them. But we need to first see it in ourselves, because the more that we can love ourselves, just like it says here, the more that we can love ourselves, the more that we can see the beauty within ourselves, it actually becomes a lot easier to see the beauty in other people. Just like the quote says, when virtues are pointed out first, flaws seem less insurmountable. Suddenly, we realize, wow, you know what? I can accomplish that thing, even though I think it's so impossible or it's so hard, or how could I possibly achieve that? Suddenly, we realize, wow, you know what? Maybe it's not so far from me if I have all of these positive qualities. There's something I want to really point out. Last night, a friend of mine, as we were walking to go grab some dinner, she showed me a picture on her phone, and she said, and it was very quick, she's holding the phone up, and she's like, Orly, what color is this? I said, oh, it's pink. She said, wait, what? I said, it's pink. She said, what are you talking about? This is green. It's green and gray. I said, no, it's pink and it's white. She said, what? And we were sitting and arguing back and forth, and she said, well, this is something that's going, very viral right now online, and I'm sure that there are many things that you guys have seen that are similar to this, either with a voice recording that people hear two different things, or with a picture that people see completely two different things, or see two different colors. And so I was saying, no, but I'm seeing pink. And she's saying she's seeing green. I'm going to show you guys the picture now. So the reason I'm bringing this up is, well, let's take a look at the reflection again. It says here, remember this, there is something uniquely special about each and every person, something which only he or she can bring into this world. How is this connected? Well, if two people are looking at the same picture and seeing completely different colors, I can't find better proof that we all have different perceptions. We all are unique. We all are different. We don't all see things the same way. Each of us see things in our own special way. So if we see things in our own special way, perceive things, that means we also are unique in our own special way. Each of us brings another color into this world, brings another perspective into this world. So while you may be looking outward at other people and their accomplishments and their achievements and seeing what they've been able to do, you need to also look inward at what you have the capacity to do, because you are unique. There are certain qualities within you that nobody else has. There are certain things that in this world that you could bring into this world that nobody else can. So, what is my list? I'm going to ask us, the challenge this week is to get out there and to create your list, but not just to create it, to say it out loud, to give voice to it. If you don't want to say it in front of an entire group of people, no problem, but at least to say it out loud to yourself. So some of the things I listed here. Number one is that I love people. It's true. I always say that my job is falling in love with people more and more each day. I am a kid at heart. I love this about myself. And ever since I was a kid at heart. So I've always been a kid. I'm still a big kid. And I think that that's very important. I'm very loving. Like I said, I love people. I think one of the things that I love most is that I'm not judgmental. I recognize, just like we said with the picture, that everyone has their own perspective on something and sees things in a little bit of a different way. And even though I might not agree, I don't cast judgment. The other thing I think is that I'm trustworthy. I This is a quality that I hold at the highest regard, that I'm welcoming. I love to have people over. I love when people come by. It's my happiest thing. I'm actually hosting a big dinner and lunch this coming weekend for about 20 people or so, and I'm so excited. Another thing I wrote down here is that I'm a dreamer. I love to dream of things that are impossible. I don't mean just simply to dream. Of course, I love to sleep just like everybody else does, but I'm talking about dreaming of accomplishing things, of really moving and shaking things in this world in a positive way. And that I have that ambition. To me, that's something that I very much love about myself. And I thought that it's a given for everybody in the world, but I've learned that it's not. And so I'm very grateful that that's something that I have and that I love to create. So these are a few things that are on my list. Now the question is, what's on your list? Maybe you'll have the courage to actually write them in as a comment. A couple things. You don't have to list. You could list 50 things, 100 things. I have no problem. I'll read every single one of them. But list a couple of things, a few things. Share with me. I'd love to hear. What is it that makes you uniquely you? What do you love about yourself? I can guarantee you that when you continue to say this in front of yourself and look at yourself, the way that you see yourself is going to change. And the moment it changes, the moment you're going to be able to accomplish even the most, like it says, even the most insurmountable obstacle, it's going to be nothing for you. So that is the act for this week and the challenge for this week. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say. Before we sign off, I want to read a couple of comments. I know I usually do this only once a month, but I do want to read a comment once a week that sticks out to me. And this comment comes from a girl by the name of Lily. And she shares an act of kindness that she went out and did over the course of this week. And she said, I found a wallet in an iPhone X on the ground, and the wallet had $567 in it. But he wanted to give it back to me, and I didn't want to accept it because I knew that I didn't need it as much as he did. But if he would have forced me to take it, I would have donated it to the homeless like the one in the amazing video, Kindness Boomerang. We all need to keep the chains going around and make life even better. I hope that people will be changed and that this video will change more people's lives that I can think of. This is just an awesome video. If someone you don't know drops something like a pencil or a phone, just pick it up and help them. We all can admit that we all need some kindness and helpful people in our lives. Keep it going. If someone helped you, even if you didn't know them. So it's a beautiful act of kindness. I love when people share acts of kindness that they're doing. Continue to do so. Lily, I pat you on the back and I applaud you for taking the time not only to do the act, but to share what you've done, to share the positive. Again, this connects back into the hardship that we have sometimes in sharing the good that we've done. The next comment, the last comment that I'm going to mention, and I feel like there's something to mention here, comes from Catherine Thompson. And she writes, on the Kindness Boomerang video, she wrote, why do 3.8K people, why do 3.8 thousand people hate this? It's beautiful. And I really want to bring some attention to this comment here, because I've seen comments like this come up. On the Kindness Boomerang video that has millions of views, there are apparently 3.8 thousand dislikes. And sometimes people get really upset and angry about that. I don't understand. Why? How could 3.8 thousand people hate this video? It's showing kindness. So I want to, again, we're going to shift our perspective, just like the pink and the green. We're going to shift our perspective a little bit. What I say is, look at all of the tens of thousands more people that really do like it. Why does somebody not like a video that is showing something about kindness? The truth is, it could be for many reasons. What we need to understand is everybody perceives things differently, just like the picture. Everyone sees things differently. Some people might be coming from a place of pain or hurt. Maybe they're that person that really does believe very much in the kindness and the goodness of people, but they've been hurt so many times or been disappointed by people that they stop believing that it's possible. Stop believing that kindness is possible. They look at the video and maybe they feel like, this is so far-fetched. This can't ever happen. This is ridiculous. And they dislike it. We don't know why, but I can tell you something from responding to comments on the video, that I love responding to comments coming from people that have been through some sort of pain or coming at me in an aggressive way. Sometimes I'll get really nasty comments, somebody coming at you in an aggressive way. This doesn't happen often. I don't mind responding to those because I know that pain and hurt When someone is coming at you with anger, it's only coming from that place of pain and hurt. It means that they've gone through something in their life. Something is going on that's making them, in a sense, speak that way or perceive things in that way. And they just need someone to reach out, to believe, to help them believe again. Is it going to be me? I don't know, but I'm going to try. So just remember, no two people see things in the same way. It's just not possible. But we still need to embrace those people, to understand and recognize that something must be going on in their life. They're going through a different experience than we are, and to embrace them regardless. So thank you guys once again for joining me for the weekly Kindness Kickoff. I hope to see you here again next Monday. Please do leave your comments. Get out there, do that challenge. List those things that you love about yourself. Embrace the beauty in you, and suddenly others are going to be able to see it in a much more powerful way. Thanks again, guys. I love you all. And remember, it's kindness that keeps the world afloat. Mwah.